Hello students, welcome to my class. Okay students, today I will move towards the history. I thought I will take history classes in classroom itself. Due to this lockdown and COVID-19, it is not possible to meet in classroom, in school. It's okay, no problem. So we will interact in offline itself. Okay students, first class means first chapter in history. First chapter will be the tracing changes through 1,000 years. Tracing, what is the meaning of tracing? Tracing means we are going to study, or we are going to weave it. How was our country about from 1,000 years, before 1,000 years. So changes, what are the changes took place and developments, all those things we are going to discuss in this lesson. So year 1,000 years means it approximately from 700 CE means common era, 700 CE to 1750, between 700 to 750, so 1750, supposed to say 7th century to almost 18th century, 7th century to almost 18th century. So how was our India? We are going to trace it in this year, in 7th standard. Our past two, we are going to focus only on medieval age, roughly from 700 common era to 1750 common era. Okay students, just turn the first page in your textbook. So you will be surprised by watching a map of India. So it is totally different, and the very first time you are going to see such type of map of India. Okay, what is that exactly? So it is map 1. Almost it will be like this. So there are no need to take confusion. So this map was done in 1154 common era, 1154, by Arab historian named Al-Idrisi. He called Al-Idrisi. He was a Arab historian. So he have compiled, means he have drawn our map of India like this. So where we can see the Sri Lanka at the top. Usually Sri Lanka will be down in recent maps. So in 10th century, the Arab historian, he recorded our Indian history. So like this. So why he has done means he observed from the north. There was no computer technologies, there was no aerial maps, satellite maps to capture India. So roughly they used to draw on the basis of their ideas. So as per, according to Al-Idrisi, he has observed from the North India. So if we observe North India, the Sri Lanka will be the top, and the South India will be the north. If we observe from the north. So as per his observation, so the Sri Lanka is on the top, and the Indian subcontinent means the peninsula or the north, and where this North India will be the south. There is nothing, no need to get confusion. So just he has done vice versa. That's it. And after that, after 600 years, the map 2. I'm going to speak about map 2. So it is done in 1720s by French cartographers. So cartography, what is the meaning of cartography? Students, the cartography is a art of making maps and globes. It is an art of making maps and globes. Well students, there was a school or learning center in Europe. Especially in Portugal, between France and Portugal. See, France, Portugal, Spain, England, these are all European countries and neighboring countries. the Europeans, they started sailing in ships to discover new lands, So they required maps and globes of India and other countries in the world. So on the basis of their observation, so they have done exact the map of India in 1720s. So where the Sri Lanka is down and the Indian subcontinent, means the peninsular region is in the south, and the North India will be the north. So this is as per the observation of French cartographers. So this was the two differences what we can see in the map 1 and map 2. Just hold on, students. Well, students, what is the difference between map 1 and map 2? The difference between the map 1 and the map 2. So there is nothing much difference. Both the maps speaks about our country India and provides detailed information about India. Only thing is the change in languages. So this was done by, map 1 was done by Al-Idrisi. He was a Arab historian in 1154 CE. So it is in Arabic language. This map 1 was in Arabic language. Only thing is the Sri Lanka is at the top, and the South India is at the top, and the North India will be the down. And map 2 was used by European sailors, merchants, those who involved in voyages, and there was very brief explanation about the coastal areas. And it is in French language. It was in French language. So this is the difference between the map 1 and the map 2. So there are nearly 600 years difference between the map 1 and the map 2. So this was the very first map for India. Was introduced in 1154 CE. Just hold on, students. So we'll go to the next concept. Hold on. Well, students, I will move towards new and old terminologies. So what is the meaning of terminologies? Term means word. What word we are going to use? What type of terms we are going to use? Whether we will use English term or Hindi or Kannada or some other language. So it is called terminologies. So here terminologies refers to languages. To mention Indian history, many travelers, those who came to India, they recorded our Indian history in their own languages. For example, do you remember when you were in 6th standard, the Chinese travelers, Wen Sang, Fa Yan, Chinese travelers, those who came to India to study about Indian history. They recorded Indian history in Chinese language. So like that, in medieval age, the many travelers like Minhaji Siraj, he was a chronicler. Chronicler means he was a literate. Those who know writing, those who have knowledge in writing. So he recorded about Indian history in Persian language. And the Babur, he was the person who founded the Mughal dynasty. He also recorded Indian history in 16th century. And Amir Khusro, he was a poet in Babur's court during Mughal rule. He also recorded about Indian history in Persian language. And Ziauddin Barani in 14th century, he also observed about Indian history, recorded in Persian language. Almost all the travelers or visitors, some of them those who settled in India, though those who recorded about Indian history, not means Indian history means about social life, Indian social life and Indian political life and Indian geography. They explained about the Indian forest, the wildlife and the forest, the rivers, about the geographical landforms and the social system, everything, the social problems, the achievements of the people, the problems of Indian people, everything they recorded in Persian language. So they have used some terms, when they compiling about Indian history. So this is the new and old terminologies. Students, in your textbook, page number 3, so they have given some informations regarding this. Just read and underline some important points you will get to know in page number 3. So all about Minaji, Siraj, Babar, Amir Khusro and Ziauddin Barani. So this information is going to help you to access more information. Just hold on, students. We'll move towards the next concept. Students, the next concept will be the historians and their sources. Historians and their sources. What is the meaning of historians? What is the meaning of historians? A person who records the information. A person who records the information about the past. Is known as historian. Is called historian. Once again, a person, he will involves in his research and he will collect the documents about the past or events. So he is known as the historians and their sources. So it is not possible to record the information without any clues and evidences. So it is called sources. So we need some clues and evidences to record the history, to know about the history. So then only it is possible. So I am not going to stress more on this concept because in 6th standard we have learned already about this, like sources of history. So we have done 2 columns like literary sources, what I have written on the board, literary sources and archaeological sources. Literary sources means manuscripts. A person who writes manually in hand, he will record the informations. In olden days there was no textbooks. There was no paper, there was no printing technology. They used to record informations in palm leaves. Yes, and these palm leaves or informations are carried from generation to generation, and some palm leaves have been preserved safely in museums and libraries. So we used to call archives. Archives means a preservation of historical sources, especially in libraries. In museums, we will preserve these archives. So manuscripts, some literary work in coins and inscriptions. Inscriptions means sometimes it is engraved in stones and pillars. So this is about inscriptions. For example, Ashoka pillar. So many informations are engraved. So this is called, we used to call inscriptions. So these inscriptions, these literary sources provides clues and evidences for the historians to collect the informations. And archaeological sources like buildings, palace, fort, old temples. So these are all comes under archaeological sources. The fossils, the bones and monuments, like I told you, palace, if it is any such type of old buildings, we used to call archaeological sources. So with the help of these literary sources and archaeological sources, so the historians, they will record the history. So in medieval age, there was a concept of prashastis, means everyone can't able to write. Only those who know reading and writing, means those who will get some proper education, such type of people, they can record the informations. So usually the Brahmins, those who know about Sanskrit literary works, they used to record the informations in manuscripts. So instead of that, the kings or queen, they used to give some rewards in the name of prashastis. We used to call prashastis. So this system was there in medieval age. So this is about the historians and their sources. So I think this much is enough, students. We will continue in the next class. Just read the textbook up to page number 6. Just read the textbook up to page number 6 and underline important points. If you have any doubts, please contact us. I think this much is enough for you. Thank you. Be safe. Stay at home.